Good afternoon. Today is April 30th, 2020. Our lesson for today, students will be able to solve word problems involving decimals and money by using the problem-solving process. So just a quick review of our process steps for adding and subtracting decimals. We will see our decimals. Here we have 3 and 21/100ths plus 4 and 5/10ths. We want to put the numbers into the standard algorithm, but when we do that, we want to put the larger number on top. So between 3 and 21/100ths and 4 and 5/10ths, 4 and 5/10ths is larger. So when we put it into the standard algorithm, we want to also extend out the number just in case we need to have a number in each place value. So here in my hundredths place, there is no number. So I want to just put a 0 here to extend out that number. It's a funny looking 0, but it's okay. So now I have 4 and 50/100ths plus 3 and 21/100ths. There's a number in each place. So then I would just add like normal. Same thing if we are subtracting. I have 3 and 8/10ths minus 1 and 26/100ths. I put my larger number on top, which is the 3 and 8/10ths. I put a 0 here to extend out that number so that there's a number in each place value. And then I subtract as normal. Here we would have to regroup. This 8 becomes a 7, and the 0 becomes a 10. So then I can subtract as regular, as normal. So here are some of the questions that we worked on together in class. If you weren't here in class with me, you can go back and solve these problems. I left up what I solved here. 244 plus 19 and 96/100ths. I had to extend out my 244 so that there was a place under here for the 96/100ths. The same with all of these. I had to go through making sure that I had my decimals lined up and in the correct place. All my numbers are in the correct place value. Going through. So we'll practice on this one right here. This is a larger number, and we still add and subtract just the same. This one, 2,742 and 1/10 minus 237 and 39/100ths. So my larger number, of course, is this 2,742 and 1/10. So I'm going to put that here. When I'm adding and subtracting, I don't necessarily put in my comma, but we do need to put in our decimal here. And now you want to make sure that you're putting your numbers in the correct place value. Well, there's not a thousandths place here, so I need to start this 2 right here under the hundredths place. If you need to put your numbers in a place value chart to help you line it up, you are more than welcome to. I encourage it to make sure that you have everything, each number in the correct place. And I'll kind of try to leave a little bit of space for myself so all my numbers aren't just jumbled up there together. So now, there's not a number in my hundredths place, and there's not a number down here in my thousandths place. So we're just going to extend out our number by adding zeros in each place. All right, so now each place has a number in it, and I'm just going to subtract like normal. So when I'm going through, I have 0 minus 9. Where is there more on top or more on bottom? There's more on the bottom, so I need to regroup. Let me get a different color here. So I need to regroup. So this 1 becomes a 0, and this 0 now becomes a 10. So now I have 10 minus 9, that's 1. Well, 0 minus 3, I need to regroup because there's more on the bottom. This 2 becomes a 1, and this 0 becomes a 10. So 10 minus 3 is 7. I bring down my decimal, and now I have 1 minus 7. Well, there's more on the bottom, so I need to regroup again. This 4 becomes a 3, and this 1 becomes an 11. So 11 minus 7 is 4. 3 minus 3 is 0. 7 minus 2 is 5. And 2 minus 0 is 2. So now my difference is 2,504 and 71/100ths. Here is where I go ahead and I put in my my comma so that I can make sure I have the correct number. Moving on, looking at our problem solving process. Remember, we have our quadrant, we have data, which is looking at the information that we need to answer the question. We want to restate the question in your own words. What are you trying to find out? What are you trying to solve? We have our strategy and plan. We're looking for our keywords to help us solve the problem. We're going to choose our strategy and our operations. How we're going to get there. We're going to work it out. Use what you said. You said you're going to subtract over here in your strategy. Well, then subtract. You're going to add, multiply, or divide, whatever it is. That's where you show it here. Checking your work, and you write your results in a complete sentence. So here's our first question. On Black Friday, GameStop was having a sale on gaming systems. The Xbox was on sale for $400, and the PlayStation was on sale for $299.99. What is the difference between the two prices? So the first time that we read it, we're just trying to figure out what it says. Now we want to look and focus on the question. What does it want me to solve? What is the difference between the two prices? So I'm going to put my question here, box it in, and I'm looking for the difference between the two prices. Well, I know that difference means that I'm going to subtract, and the two prices that I have are for the Xbox, which was $400, and the PlayStation, which was $299. So I'm looking for the difference between $400 and $299.99. So in my data, I'm going to put an X here so that I know that this is for the Xbox, which is $400. Put my dollar sign here. $400. And my PlayStation, I'm just going to put PS. I've labeled it so I know the difference between the two. $299.99. Label my data. So now we are looking for the difference, and so we know that difference means that we are going to subtract. So my strategy is that I'm going to subtract. And so when I think about $299.99, which one is larger? It's 400 is the larger number. And when I put my $299.99, there's a hundreds place here, 9 decimal 99. Well, when I look up here at my top, I am missing some places. So I'm going to extend out my number, my 400. So now it has $400.00 here. So now I can just subtract as normal. Well, there's more on the bottom here. All the way, I have all these nines, so, and all these zeros on top. I need to come all the way over here to the hundreds place. This 4 will become a 3. This is going to be a 10, but I need to regroup it here, so it's actually going to be a 9. And now I can make this a 10, but I need to regroup it over here, so this is going to be a 9. And I have something to bring over here. Well, I need to regroup this as well, so this is going to be a 9 as well. And this 0 here will be a 10. So 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 9 is 0. Bring down my decimal. 9 minus 9 is 0. 9 minus 9 is 0. And 3 minus 2 is 1. So the difference is $100.01. How can I check my work? If I add 299 plus 101 cents, then if it equals to $400, then I know my work is correct. So I would write my answer in a complete sentence. I'm just going to type it in. This makes it a little bit easier for me. All right, so there I have typed in my answer. I'm going on to my next question. Let's do this question right here. Karen created her grocery list. How much money can she expect to pay the clerk, not including tax? So here's the grocery list: eggs, milk, ground beef, frozen pizza, bananas, and bread. We need to add up everything because it's asking how much can she expect to pay. So I need to add up everything, and I'm looking at my grocery list. Find the largest number. Well, I see ground beef is $3.99, so I'm going to put my $3.99. And I need to add up everything. I'm done with that, so I'm going to cross that out. I'm going to put all of these in here. You don't have to add them all at the same time. You can take apart. Well, let's just take these first two, just to make it a little bit easier for me. I'm going to just take part of this, so I'm using the milk. Let's see. All right, 9 plus 9 is 18. Regroup my 1. That's going to be 14. Bring down my decimal. Regroup my 1. And then that is going to be 7. So now I use those two. Let's go to $3.49 here. Get rid of that one. Well, that's going to be 17. Regroup my 1. It's 9. Bring down my decimal. 10. 97. All right, let's go with $2.99. 9. That gives me 16. Gives me 19. That gives me 3. 13.96. And then 13.96. And you'll keep on going until you get your total. 49. And I'm just going to go ahead and add these bananas in here too. Alright. Put my decimal, make sure I have my places lined up. So off screen, I went ahead and I finished this equation. So it's $17.04 is how much that they would expect to pay. So I had another question. If she paid with a $20 bill, how much change would she get back? So let's see. If the total was $17.04, let me erase some of this to give myself some space. The total was $17.04, and she paid $20. $17.04, and she paid $20. And we go ahead and solve that. We need to regroup. This is a 9. That would also be 9. This would be 6, 9. $2.96 is what she would get back. So let's look at this last one. I'm not going to have enough time to solve it, but let's look. John bought 3 chairs that cost $49.23 each. He also bought a table that cost $172.18. How much did John spend on the tables and chairs? So when I look at this, read it carefully. We're looking to see how much did he spend on the table and the chairs. Notice that it says chairs. So when I go back and look, John bought, he bought 3 chairs. So this is not just 1 chair, but 3 chairs that were $49.23 each. And he bought a table for $172.18. So when you're looking at a question like this, make sure that you are carefully reading what they have. So I don't just have 1 chair for $49.23. There are 3 of them. So when I'm adding everything up, I would need to have this number 3 times plus the table. You can add those 3 up plus the table. If you have any more questions, see me. Okay, so off camera, I went ahead and I finished this just for the sake of time. $49.23 3 times is 147 and 69 cents.